out my short. I pulled my sword.
Why would you want two short swords when you can have a hammer or an axe? Even a bastard sword?
You know, I appreciate your creativity, but I do have an agenda and a specific style.
He says, we can make two little daggers for you.
Let's just say I'm the nimble type.
I've run across the nimble type. I get you.
Cool.
He says, that's something we can do. We can whip that up today.
I'd love that very much, sir. How much are you looking?
50 gold a sword for us to craft it.
Perfect. I'll give him 100 gold.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, and you see them start working on it. They start pulling the oars and heating it up, and they're what do you call it?
Like heating up the furnace and.
Yeah, but what's that pot that they put it in? I work at a foundry, I should know.
It's a crucible.
Crucible, thank you.
Yeah.
I keep saying cauldron, that's not it.
Yeah.
And so you see it heating up, it starts getting warm in there.
Do you know about how long it'll take?
He said they'll do it today, so
awesome.
they're probably just gonna pour it and hammer it out. So.
Awesome. Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, mithril swords. Metal, all about it.
Yes, they stop paying attention to you and start working.
Cool. I go and get some breakfast. And
alright, where do you go? Out of the restaurants there's a couple of so there's the inn, which is, generic bar food sort of deal with, and then there's a couple of restaurants there. There's two of them. One is like on the shore, and it's like you would assume that like at nighttime, like seafood sort of deal. And then there's one kind of towards the back, like near the houses, and it seems to be more of like a country style sort of, bed and breakfast sort of deal.
American fare.
Yeah, American, country style food.
Yeah, I go to the American fare, the country restaurant.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just up the way. It's near the forest. And you go inside, and it's most of the buildings are like thin gray wood sort of deal, kind of beachy,
Yeah.
This one's more thick beams, logs, things like that. Like just the difference of them taking some of the more beech woods and them taking from the dense
old growth
woods.
Yeah.
So it's more of like a kind of like a Norse cabin sort of deal is what it kind of looks like.
It's kind of like that.
You would assume, kind of looking at it, it's probably the oldest building here. Is what it kind of looks like. So you go inside, and there's a couple people sitting down. It's about this time, 9 o'clock there.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be kind of one waitress kind of going around, but there's little signs that seat yourself. So.
So yeah, I go take a seat. Do they have a bar?
Yeah, like a classic,
I go and take a seat at the bar.
Okay, yeah, you look at the bar, and just looking at it, there's one person sitting also at the bar.
Okay.
And you recognize it as Benny T from behind.
Nice.
Sitting at the bar.
Okay. I go and take a seat next to Benny.
Okay, so yeah, you sit next to Benny, looking like James Corden, you know him.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there, and he's enjoying a what do you call
mimosa?
it? No, like a corned beef hash.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, he's eating that, sitting down, drinking his coffee out of his D20 mug. And you sit down next to him, and he looks over and he goes, oh, Hollis, hey, how's it going?
Benny, it's mighty nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. What brings you? What you up so early? I guess it's 9, but what you doing out here?
I take it you're a late sleeper. I'm here because I'm just waiting on my swords to be finished up, but I'm looking to get some money, perhaps buy a bounty or something along those lines.
Oh, bounty. Have you checked out the bounty sign down in town?
Not yet.
I was just looking at it this morning. Looks like pretty interesting.
Yeah? What's your thought on that?
Well, coming from a bandit background, I'm not too keen on them. Sometimes I have nightmares of walking down and seeing my own name on those signs.
I'm sure you do.
I'm trying to walk away from that whole bandit life, but being around you and Frank and Lana and the other guys just brings me right back into it.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just it's dangerous. It's a dangerous life.
Absolutely.
However, I got powers from Koana.
Yeah.
Praise Koana.
Yeah.
But it's a dangerous life.
Absolutely. Well, as you know, I wanted to partake in crime myself, but the way I see it, these people got caught. They're not smart, and they deserve to be caught.
That's true. People who get their names on those boards, they're a risk. They're a risk to us all.
They really are. So I'd like to be the one that takes them out, if you know what I mean.
It makes sense. Frank used to hire people to do that all the time.
That's great. Well, that's cool. Do you know anything about this bounty here?
I check out the signs. I just kind of skimmed over it. I'd go down there and read through it.
Absolutely.
And the waitress comes by, and she's like a big mom sort of waitress. She looks like maybe like a half dwarf, half human sort of deal. And she asks you, what do you want? If there's anything you'd get out of,
Oh yeah.
You got like the special omelet where if you can eat it in under 30 minutes, you get it free.
Yes. I actually take an eggs Benedict.
Okay, there you go.
And and in respect to my future betrayal, this whole operation, I get a Benedict.
There you go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Benny says, "Oh, good choice. I had that last time I was here. It's good stuff." He says, "What are the other guys up to? Are you guys having any more missions? What's gonna go on with Frank?"
We're not so sure. I've got Frank a little occupied at the moment. I wouldn't worry about him. And I'm going to give those guys a little breathing room before we move on. We've had sort of a difficult season.
That's what it sounds like. We were down in that dungeon. I mean, I'm glad to be out of there.
Yeah.
Then we went off and robbed that bank. That was pretty exciting. And, came across Ignis, and that was pretty intense. So I could see why you guys would want a little break.
Yeah, we'll probably get back together somewhere at Wednesday at 6:30.
That makes sense. That sounds like a good time to get back into.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not so bad. So tell me, Benny, how'd you grow up? What's your situation? Did you just fall into the wrong crowd and don't believe in yourself to pull yourself out of it, or what?
Well, I grew up in the capital of Walloon, actually. I didn't know my parents. Kind of grew up on the streets, kind of wandering around, and a church took me in, and I was a temple boy for most of my life, with a lawful good deity. Just didn't really believe in it. Didn't believe in the harsh rules and all that stuff. And
you did it out of respect because you cared for the people that took you in.
Exactly.
But at the same time, it was not with what you identified with.
It wasn't for me. And then so I left. When I came of age and kind of traveled around and really found power in the goddess Koana when this person on the side of the road came up and gave me a pamphlet to go to church one day. I show up and it's a great service, and it was in Hammervale. And sure enough, I just fell in love with it, and there is where I got my cleric powers. That's where I sought and it was almost an intervention with Kiwana. I met some people there, some bandit folk, and they told me about the good money and that, and I would say it's kind of out of spite of the people who I grew up with. Even though I do respect that group, it's taking from them just feels so good. I don't know, maybe it's because just how I grew up, but kind of getting into that, I just started raiding. I wouldn't get into the real killing or anything like that. It wasn't really my style. A lot of people I was with did, but my friends are down. I'd heal them and things like that. But I never really met anyone I got real close to down there. So that's why I'm kind of out with you guys, searching for something different.
Absolutely. I feel ya. Yeah, it's interesting. The lawful good tat, they think that it's really the only way. And
well, they have a very influential deity. The deity started the empire, and their presence is well known throughout the lands. Just forcing their rules on everybody.
Yeah.
I get why Walter snapped.
Yeah.
It's a pretty intense atmosphere being within them.
You'd say that sorry to interrupt. You'd say that Walter was within that community as well?
His group is, he got kicked out, so I'm not sure how he feels now. But the Empire's definitely a lawful good sort of group. Their God created them to restore, or not even to restore balance. It's more to enforce law throughout the land, and it's just
balance is of no priority to a man who believes his way is the only way.
Exactly. And the whole reason the neutral deities were created in the world was to try and create a small community of balance, at least,
Absolutely. It does intrigue me when, let's take for example the chaotic good alignment. What that lawful good may believe about the chaotic good when they have the same priorities, but they go about it differently.
Exactly.
And I think that if you listen to what both are saying, I'd say I'd even go so far as to say that the chaotic good may be even more sympathetic than of their lawful archetype.
Yeah, and it's almost like the farther you get on the spectrum, the lawful good start to sound like the chaotic evil.
Absolutely. And
Kiwano's right in the middle, and I think that is where the balance is. It's where, it's, the way I see it is chaotic neutral, is self-preservation. You keep yourself alive, then everybody's alive,
Absolutely.
You keep your lawful good, you try and make everybody else lawful good, and you end up killing people in the process.
Absolutely.
Chaotic evil, you start killing people for your own cause, and it's just none of them are sustainable. But if everybody's watching out for themselves, the way I see it is you're good to go. And Dara, the goddess of law, the Empire, they rule with a iron fist. I don't know how much you've come in contact with them, but you're breaking the law, you're dead the next day. And Xanos, the god of chaos, for example, you get in someone's way who follows him, and you're dead the next day. Kiwana, you come in the way of us, as long as you're not harming me, you're cool.
Absolutely. It's interesting I think I see what you're saying as far as the relations and the different attributes.